What is going on today, guys? Today I just wanted to address the age-old question in trucking of should you become an owner-operator? Now, I personally approach this by addressing three different things first. And again, as a disclaimer, what I am about to say is my opinion. I'm just a company driver, but I have done a lot of research into this because I was interested in it for quite some time. So I have some evidence to back up my opinions, but at the end of the day, it's just my opinion. So getting right into it, what are the first three things that I needed to address? The first thing was doing my research into what I wanted to do as an owner operator. Second thing was making sure it fit well within what I value personally and if it fit with my personal life. The third thing that I'm not going to go over too deeply, but I will briefly go over is your financial situation and how to set yourself up successfully. Not going to dive too deeply in that because, again, I'll leave that for the actual owner operators who are doing this successfully. Sounds like the Living Free Trucking channel's doing this successfully. He has a lot of great videos on it. I'd recommend you go check out his channel if you want to do this successfully. So the first step that I addressed was research. I figured out, did a lot of research on YouTube, a lot of research on different forums of what I wanted to do if I were to become an owner operator. And it doesn't matter what it is. It's whether it's flatbed, dry van, reefer, fuel hauling, or anything and everything in between. You need to figure out what you want to do as an owner operator. Once you figure that out, you then need to make sure it is going to fit within your personal life and what you personally value, right? And that means researching the trade-offs that come with being an owner-operator. What do I mean by that? So, generally speaking, as an owner-operator, especially when you're starting out and outside of some niche examples, you're going to have to run the road. What do I mean by that? You're going to be over the road, meaning you're barely home within a month. You're generally running most days out of the month and you're on the road. And for some people that works. Other people that doesn't really work. And what I'm again about to say is going to get a lot of hate and it's going to get a lot of disagreement, but that's fine. It's just my opinion. But I think it's reality at the end of the day. If you have to run over the road and you're also in custody of kids that are under age 18, you shouldn't be running the road. Why? Because in order to be an effective parent, you have to be there physically, you have to be there mentally with your kids, you know. So even if you are home, you need to actually be there in spirit with them, not actually just playing on your phone and all the distractions that we have and constantly get distracted by. Kids need parents, both parents, especially dads, who are actually taking the time and investing it into their kids, spending time with them, raising them, and being present in the moment with their kids. You can't do that as an owner operator, or at least if you're running the road. And I'm not talking about people who are just getting their year of experience starting out in trucking, going over the road for their first year or two. You can make that work. I'm talking about long term. You're thinking of being an owner operator and running the road on a long term basis. Please put your kids first. They need it. And if you don't, we have plenty of examples of kids who did not have dads and what happened, and it doesn't usually turn out well. That being said, if your kids are grown, if you have kids but they're already out of the house and they're adults, or you don't have kids and you're just a married dude with no dependents, or you're a single dude and it's just you also have to make sure that the other trade-offs that are going to come with it, such as, generally speaking, you're going to be running out your clock, your 70-hour clock. That's okay with you, and there's nothing wrong in your mind with working 70 hours a week. You have to be okay with the fact that you're now responsible for everything that happens to that truck. Obviously, maintenance, I'm not going to get too big into that because we all know about maintenance. But say you're driving down the road and a tire comes off another truck and it hits your truck as you're minding your own business. that's now your problem. Or you park somewhere for the night at a rest area, somebody hits your truck, now it's your problem. So you have to be okay with all those problems that were not your problems when you were a company driver. You have to be okay with that. And that comes with a lot of stress, and some people can handle it, others can't. As a wise man by the name of Thomas Sowell once said, there are no solutions, only trade-offs. So again, you have to be okay with the trade-offs that come with being an owner-operator. After you figured all that out, you then need to talk to somebody who is doing this successfully. What do I mean by that? So if you want to do flatbed as an owner-operator, you need to talk to somebody who's doing flatbed as an owner-operator, who's doing it successfully, has a good long-term business plan, and they, most importantly, have a positive attitude about it. Why would you want to be negative about something that has the potential to either do great things as a successful owner-operator, or it has the potential to really screw up your, not just your trucking career, but your personal finances as well as your personal life if you don't take this seriously and take it in a positive light? So after you've done that, you've done your research, you've recognized the trade-offs, and you accept them for what it is, and you've talked to somebody about how to do this successfully, you then need to get your financial situation in order. If you cannot manage your own personal finances, you got no business running a truck, because the consequences of you not taking financial decisions seriously is amplified tenfold if you have your own business. And this is spoken as somebody who ran their own business. So if you think, oh, I missed a credit card payment, no big deal, I'll just pay a late fee, or if you can't manage anything like that, now suddenly, because you didn't set yourself up for success and you didn't save any money as an owner-operator, your engine blows up, God forbid, and now you're out $40,000, $50,000, not just in revenue, but in repairs for fixing that engine or replacing that engine. It's a whole different kind of world of hurt if you don't take that seriously. So, financially speaking, for the basics, you need to be out of debt beside your mortgage. So, pay off your car loans, credit cards, personal loans, God forbid, payday loans. Get all that squared away and paid off. And then if you have a mortgage left over, that's okay. You then need to save up 6 months of a personal emergency fund. So add up all your bills for 1 month and times that by 6, and that is what you need in a savings account for yourself. You need to save up however much money it's going to cost you to actually get started in the business, and that means buying your first truck cash, buying your first trailer cash, all the other equipment that you need, all your permits, insurance premiums if that's upfront, any other upfront costs that you have that you should have been figuring out in the research phase. You also then need to save up on top of that a business emergency fund, and that's going to vary depending upon how you start out and what kind of equipment, and that can vary anywhere from 30 to 50 grand, but you definitely need one. It would really help you out if you took a basic accounting course just to understand how to manage your personal as well as your business expenses. If you've done all that, I would say go for it, but until that point, you have a lot of work to do. So personally for me, when I was looking at the cost-benefit analysis of going and owning my own truck, I decided it wasn't worth it for a handful of reasons. But ultimately, it came down to, at the end of the day, at Gemini Motor Transport, again, in my first year, I managed to earn $128,500. And that was just averaging 57 hours a week. And I was home every single night except for one, where I got trapped by a road closure and I had to spend the night in the hotel, which was also paid for by the company. But aside from that, I've been home every single night. I earn a very good wage, and I don't have to deal with any of the stress that comes with owning a truck. I don't have to deal with, obviously, the maintenance that constantly comes up, or somebody hitting a trailer, which does happen, or any number of stressors in my life that take place. Personally, I want to live as stress-free of a life as possible. And I know what stress does to people. If they're constantly under stress, it kills them and they live a very, very short life. Could I make more than $128,000 as an owner-operator? Yeah, sure. But I also have to consider all the benefits that I have, the 401k match, paid vacation, all that. When you add all that up in a monetary sense, I'm actually paid closer to a total package of 140 or so thousand, maybe 145,000. So could I even make more than that? Absolutely. Could I net after all of my expenses more than that? Maybe even 40, 50 grand more, or even all the way up to $200,000? Yeah, sure. I probably could. Doesn't mean it's worth it to me. I put staying at home every single day at $100,000 just by itself. That's what it's worth to me. But doesn't mean that's going to be the case for you. Ultimately, at the end of the day, you have to decide whether it's worth it for you or not. Just because it wasn't worth it or it isn't worth it for me does not mean that's going to be the case for you. But you do have to do the research to figure that out. And please take your time with it, because again, this is not a small matter. The research phase should not be a week or 2 weeks or even a month. It should be several months, and ideally maybe even a year or two, where you're taking this seriously and you're taking it slow. Because people who rush into being an owner-operator, they go broke. That's the vast majority of people who go broke as owner-operators. They rush into it. They don't have a solid plan, let alone a solid financial foundation to base their business off of. But again, if you disagree with me, you guys can put it down in the comment section below and we'll have a discussion there. Otherwise, if you found this video helpful, please give me a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. God bless.